Hi, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have another book review for you. As I've been mentioning in the last couple of book-related videos, I do plan on making videos as soon as I finish a book. I know the view count is pretty low across each individual review, like 4, 5, 9, 11, numbers like that. But when you add up all the numbers from all the videos I've been putting up, the numbers are very impressive. So I'm going to keep it going. Another reason I'm going to keep it going is two people, actually three, have been talking about a couple of the books that I've reviewed just in the last week. And people that I didn't even know were watching my videos are watching them and buying the books that I am talking about in these videos. So I'm going to keep it going. This book is one of two books that I'm reading right now. I'm reading Her Mother's Gift right now, but I also just read Kamila Knows Best. I am 48% in the other book, and this one I went ahead and finished today. Now, Kamila Knows Best is by Farah Heron. Now, last year on NetGalley, I got her book called Accidentally Engaged, but I have never listened to it. It's still in my queue, and one of these days I'll get to it. So when I saw that she had another book, I had to get it because her books come highly recommended, and I just had a feeling I would enjoy her stories. And this one was really, really good. Now, I got this on NetGalley. By the way, it's by Forever, so I want to thank Forever for this arc for review. I really appreciate it. But I'm also now in the Hachette audiobook arc program as an influencer. And so when the list came out for audiobooks for Hachette, they send you to Edelweiss and you can read the blurb on all the books, and there's like 30 or so books in each offering. So I chose about 8 of them, and one of them was Kamila Knows Best. Yes, I have it as an e-arc, but why not have it as an audiobook arc? And I'm really glad that I did. In fact, I do want to get the name of the narrator because I think she did a fabulous job. So while I'm still chatting, we're going to try to get out of this screen that I was in, and we're going to zip over to Audible. I didn't get it on Audible, but Audible is a quick way for me to check. Um, I want to tell you who the narrator is because I'm not sure if I've ever listened to this narrator before. And the thing I like about this book is, okay, the narrator, no. Oh, wow. No one, oh, see, this makes me happy. Okay, the narrator is Sonila Nakani. And the book is 10 hours and 51 minutes. And I usually listen to books about 2 speed or 3 speed. But in this case, I listen to it at 2.35 to be absolutely specific. Now, I was impressed by the narrator's name because she's of Indian descent. And that's what these characters were in this book. And the reason that I was curious about who the narrator was, and I know it's after the fact, but the reason that I was curious as to who the narrator was is with these Indian characters, you have Kamila Hussein is the primary protagonist, but her father and her childhood nemesis had strong Indian accents, and this narrator was spot on. Whether she was doing Camilla's voice, whether she was doing Camilla's father's voice, uh, what's his name? Rashan or Hashan? Yeah, Rohan. Rohan was Camilla's best friend, and I'm going to tell you about him in a minute. She was spot on. So let's just click her name to see what else she's narrated. Oh, she's one of the narrators in the Dolly Parton book I just listened to, Run Rose Run. Go figure. Okay, what else? Deva Shastri's Last Day. It's right over there. So I'm going to listen to that later. Oh my gosh. Um, who else? I just seen if there's anything else I have in my cue that, okay, Accidentally Engaged. Like I said, I have that. First Love Take Two. I read that one. I didn't listen to it, but she narrated that. That's by Sanji Patel. Okay, you have just got a new fan. I'm a new fan to Farah Rashan, the author of this book, and to Sanila Nankaki, the narrator on Audible. And I was just going, whoops, I hate when I go to show you my phone and my contrast is up high. Um, I just went to Audible, and if you click the name of the person for the book you're looking at, it will bring up everything they narrated, which is how I discovered she part was one of the cast of narrators in Run Rose Run. So that's my fangirling moment. Fangirling moment over. Let's talk about this book. The summary from the publisher says Kamila Hussein's life might not be perfect, but whew, it's close. She lives a life of comfort filled with her elaborate Bollywood movie parties, a dog with more Instagram followers than most reality stars, a job she loves, and an endless array of friends who clearly need her help finding love. In fact, Camilla is so busy with her friends' love lives, she's hardly given any thought to her own. She was a big time matchmaker. Fortunately, Camilla has Rohan Nasir, a longtime friend of the family. He's hugely successful with deliciously lean, firm body of a rock climber. In fact, and I'm just interjecting my thought here, one of the biggest things she was attracted to with Rohan was his forearms. I don't know if I've been married too long, but I never looked at a man's forearms and, whatever. So anyway, only lately Camilla's harmless flirting with Rohan is making her insides do a little Baccarat dance. But between planning the local shelter's puppy prom, throwing a huge work event, and proving to everyone that she's got it all figured out, Camilla isn't letting herself get distracted until her secret nemesis returns to town with an eye for Rohan. Suddenly, it seems like the more Camilla tries to plan, the more things are starting to unravel, and her perfectly ordered life is about to be turned upside down. Now, this is, as you may have guessed, a friends to lover story. I guess it might be considered a romantic comedy, but there were very serious undertones in this book. Now, Camilla was very close to her father, but the reason I say there were serious undertones in this book is there are two things, and I'm not going to spoil the book for you. But one of the issues is her father dealt with major depressive episodes, so she was hugely concerned for his mental health. The second thing is Camilla's mother, who is now deceased, was verbally abusive almost Camilla's whole childhood until Camilla became a young adult, until her mother passed away. So I wanted to bring out those two things that made this book that might be considered a rom-com much more serious than I expected it to be. Now, in the story, as mentioned, like I interjected when I was reading the blurb, Camilla played matchmaker with all of their longtime friends. However, there was one friend who came back in town, and Camilla never really liked the girl. She knew her since school, but the girl had been out of town, and now she's back in town, and it looks like she might be attracted to Rohan. Well, that should be just fine because Rohan and Camilla are just friends. Best friends, but just friends. So why is all of a sudden Camilla having feelings of jealousy? That's where the story starts to turn. I can't say much more about the plot because I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't want to do that. I never want to do that. But I do want to encourage you to read it. And if you like clean romance, this fits the bill. If you like friends to lovers, if you like that trope, this fits the bill. If you like a warm, happily ever after, this fits the bill. And if you love dogs, and if you love people who love dogs, then this is definitely a book you want to read. So that is Camilla Knows Best by Farah, Heron. And like I said, I've got Accidentally Engaged by her that I wanted to read. And did I say there was something else that I wanted to read? I'm just looking at my Audible real quick because I should have just put it in my wish list. I'm just scrolling backwards. I feel like there's something else that this narrator. Hmm. Well, definitely Accidentally Engaged, but I just feel like I saw something else that I wanted to read by that was narrated by Sunili Nankani. But there you have it. And let me tell you, I got this book from the Hachette Audiobook Art Program, but it's already out, so we're going to do a quick experiment. We're going to go to Hoopla. I know the review was over, wasn't it? But no, Robin just can't shut up. So let's go see for Kamila. I just wanted to tell you what your chances are for getting this book without having to buy it, even though I am going to put the link in the description below. Okay, so it's not on Hoopla. So now I'm just going to check my library and we'll find out. It's definitely there on Audible if you have an Audible subscription. And it is available at your local library, but in my case, I would have to place it on hold. So I just wanted to give you places where you can get it. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Scribd most likely. Your local library, though, you'll have to likely put it on hold. I guess that's it. Unless you're a reviewer and you got it on NetGalley or Hachette. So that is Kamila Knows Best. I'm excited to tell you about this book because for about 5 or 6 days, I read nothing, all 98%, 95% nonfiction. I did read 2 fiction books last week, but I read, I think, 9 nonfiction books. So to read this book as a romance, it was really good. I am reading a women's fiction book right now that's a heavier theme. That book, one of the characters has Alzheimer's, so it was nice to flip between the 2 books and to read a light book after all that nonfiction, reading about a character with Alzheimer's, and then see these friends fall in love with each other. So that's it. I'll be back with more. Bye bye.